I like the Thunderdome feel way, way, way more than what that center, performance center. I was about to call it a sports center. Okay. I can't think. Okay, I know I gotta get it right, but
I mean, you got, sound like you know what you're talking about.
I know. Okay. Okay. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith, and this is a Faith Walks channel where the pathways of faith are limitless. So today, I'm actually going to be doing something very interesting and different for me. I will be doing a review of SummerSlam 2020, okay? Yes, you heard me. WWE SummerSlam 2020. Doing a review. I'm creating this makeup look inspired by Mandy Rose, at least what I can remember of it. So, if you want to see how I get this look and what my thoughts are on SummerSlam 2020, then keep on watching. You know you want to. Welcome back. So, as I explained in the intro, today I'm going to be doing something special. I'm going to be doing my makeup and talking about SummerSlam. I know, SummerSlam, WWE SummerSlam. It's a makeup channel. I know. I love wrestling. And so I was inspired last night to give my review of how SummerSlam went down. Meanwhile, doing my face with my, my beat or whatever. Today, I'm doing a Mandy Rose inspired beat. If you are a wrestling fan, you know that she had a match last night with Sonya Deville. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Meantime, while you're grabbing your snacks and all of that, hit the subscription button down in the corner. Okay? And also like this video, comment, and, tell me how your day is going, how you enjoyed SummerSlam yesterday. If you are a fan, let me know your thoughts and your critiques of how everything went. I'm so excited, okay? So like I said, I'm doing a Mandy Rose inspired look. Every product that I'm using, I'm going to use, I will put down in the description bar so that you know, what we doing or whatever, because I have to talk. I have to talk about what went down on this WWE SummerSlam. So, just for a little background, I have been watching wrestling ever since I was in my, since I was a kid, elementary school. So my dad got me into it and I'm real heavy into it. But let's get to the situation at hand. Okay, we can do another video talk about what happened, how I fell in love with it and all that good stuff, But in the meantime, let's talk about what went down in SummerSlam WWE. So I got my snacks and everything. I sat down. You know what I'm saying? And, I was ready to go. I was ready for this, okay? Me and my husband, we love wrestling. So we had our snacks, we had our nachos, we had our fried chicken, we had everything so that we could be ready for what was about to go down, because we wasn't sure. Everything's been going on. Retribution been popping up. We weren't sure if they were going to pop up at SummerSlam or whatever. And it was a lot. So we weren't sure how everything was going to play out. So in the midst of everything, they had the pre-show. And it was a lot of talking. I really didn't watch much of it, but I did hear that Renee Young, let everybody know that she would be saying her farewells to the WWE. And, she got to say it while she was, in the beginning. So I thought that was nice. I really did. I love Renee Young, and we will see if she moves on to AEW, okay? Then we move on to MVP and Apollo Crews' match. Now, MVP has his stable, the Hurt Business or whatever. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin came out just to see him off, but they were banned from the ringside or whatever. Which, honestly, I feel like it's hypocritical, because they have all these people up here to be engaging in cheatery, and will be at ringside causing problems or whatever, and they never get banned, or they only get banned one time or whatever. But in the midst of all of this, you know, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley get banned from ringside, but it's whatever. You know, Apollo Crews didn't have his crew out there. You know, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. He didn't have them out there. So, whatever. The match was pretty good. Apollo Crews was, you know, doing his thing. MVP was doing his thing. You know, Apollo Crews won, but, you know, as far as, like, the win, I felt like Apollo Crews was struggling to get MVP up, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing his finisher move, and it looked like he was struggling, like, for real. It really did. It looked like he was struggling. MVP was all clean shaven. He came out there, you know what I'm saying? They had their new Hurt Business t-shirts, so that was cool. It seemed like the night of gold, you know? Whether it was gold and black or gold and white, it was a night of gold. MVP did his thing in the ring. He was bringing it, you know, the heat, but Apollo Crews, he overcame him or whatever, and, you know, it was Apollo Crews that, you know, retained his title. As soon as he finished the match, then you saw Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley come out, but, you know, Apollo Crews just ran, and I feel like for common sense, I know, you know, in WWE, like, you know, people will stay and fight. You know, they got heart or whatever. Your baby faces will, you know, have heart and stay out there. But Apollo Crews, he just been doing what he need to do to stay, you know, healthy, alive, you know, to stay away, you know, from Bobby Lashley. He just been doing what he need to do. Okay. So, that was a good match. It was a good match. I was glad to see Apollo Crews retain, because personally I want to see more focus get back to the Hurt Business stable. I want to see more of Shelton Benjamin, because I feel like he's not being utilized in the way that he should be. I'm just glad, first of all, to see him, you know, on the screen at this point. You know what I'm saying? And another opinion that I have is I feel like that this should have been in the main show. I know that they don't really show Apollo Crews matches, and it's really Apollo Crews. No offense, it's not his fault, but because it was Apollo Crews, they really didn't, like, you know, put him on like that. But it's MVP, and that's the thing. MVP deserves to be on the main show, and that's on period. Let me cut my crease real quick. So it was a SmackDown Women's Championship match with Bayley. So, okay, Asuka comes in. Now, meantime, again with the tomfoolery. Like I said, you got the Hurt Business who had to sit in the back, and they couldn't be ringside. But yet, with all of the shenanigans that Sasha and Bayley be pulling on a consistent basis, we have Bayley accompanied by Sasha Banks. So, the match was pretty good. I mean, at least we didn't have Sasha throwing her ring in there like that, like happened with what the horror show. Lord have mercy. Okay, moving on. So, the match was good, but Sasha intervened. So my thing was, Asuka had Bayley in a submission hold, and Asuka had Bayley in a submission hold, and meanwhile, while she's having her in that submission hold, Sasha is like yelling under the, you know, blah blah blah, talking all this stuff, and while she was, you know, talking and everything and yelling, and she had her hand under the thing. So I know everything isn't going to be fair, and there will be cheatery, and I shouldn't expect any less from Sasha Banks and Bayley. But my thing is, what was the ref doing? Like, ref, what are you doing? Because if you're not a part of the match and your hand is under the ropes, in my opinion, you're in the ring. And if you're, you know, in the middle intervening that way, then I'm going to tell you to either back up or get away from being ringside. But of course, that didn't, the ref didn't do that. He ignored it. He acted like nothing was even going on. And he was completely oblivious to the situations, which is, to be expected when it comes to the role models. So then, Asuka kicks Sasha Banks and moves her out the way. And right after she does, they get up and Sasha gets on the ropes. She like stands up, gets on the ropes, trying to yell at the ref, all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, ref, what are you doing? So in the meanwhile, Asuka does the bump. Asuka does her moves. She knocks into Sasha. Sasha falls off the ropes, but because that was intended for Bayley, Bayley moved out the way. Sasha took the hit, and Asuka was tied up in the ropes, so Bayley was able to boom, bing, bang, boom, do her thing, won her match. Of course, this is what we expected. This is what we expected between Bayley and Sasha. Nothing but them working it out for each other to make sure that they were able to win. And of course, at the towards the end, they had I think it was Kayla who interviewed them, Sasha Banks and Bayley. But of course, it was like, we're the role models, and they had something stupid over there. Like, Bayley brought a broom and was like, yeah, we're gonna have a clean sweep, whatever. Not corny at all. So after the match, though, I'm going ahead of myself. After the match, Sasha Banks beats up Asuka some more, making sure that Asuka is towed up for the Raw Women's Championship match that's coming up so that she can retain her title. She's trying to make sure that everything is good on her end so she can, continue to be champion. Moving on. Then we go into the match for the tag team championship between the Street Profits and Andrade and Angel Garza. So, am I the only person that was confused as to why Zelina came out there and didn't have any heels on? I'm like, homegirl be coming out with her stripper heels every week, no problem. The only time that she doesn't have her stripper heels on is when she's going to fight and Bianca Belair is going to show up. Let me mention, I was thoroughly disappointed that there was no appearance by Bianca Belair. All of this stuff about Zelina, poisoning Montez, and then Montez mentioned something about there's security footage saying, showing that Zelina was the one that poisoned him. I'm like, where is this footage? Am I missing something? Did I actually miss something? Somebody put down in the comments, let me know if I missed something. Because where is this security footage that we're talking about? Like, we're doing all of these reminders, WWE lets us know who's feuding, why they're feuding, whatever. But I saw nothing. I saw, continuous reminders of the same old stuff over and over again about, letting us know what matches are coming up so we can get excited. But I saw nothing about Zelina security footage showing her poison this man's cup. And all of this stuff that they've been building about this poisoning, but they did nothing and did not have Bianca Belair on it. Bianca Belair should have been on SummerSlam. Coming back to Bianca Belair, she's coming from NXT. We really don't see her the way that she should be booked. In my opinion, there's no way that Bayley or Sasha Banks should be holding all the gold. If they pushed Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, the way that they should be pushed, they should have been at SummerSlam. Shayna Baszler was just done completely wrong, number one. And Bianca Belair is not booked correctly, period. She isn't. She should have been on SummerSlam. With all of this feud, Zelina was on there, and that's why I was confused, because I thought that the reason that Zelina had flats on was because Bianca Belair was going to show up and there was going to be a fight between them. But nope, nothing. 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 I was so disappointed by that. Because, like, don't build that storyline. You know, we glad to see Montez, you know, make it to SummerSlam. And then nothing. So then about the match itself, the match was very good. You know, it was great exchange. I thought that the teamwork between Angel Garza and Andrade was very good. You know, they continued to keep Montez in that corner so that, you know, they can get the beat down or whatever. So, you know, that's good teamwork. That's just good teamwork, period. You know what I'm saying? So, that was great. Man, I'm telling you. But then they got Dawkins in the ring, and Dawkins was killing it. Montez did a great job, too. He hung in there because a few times I wasn't sure what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But Montez hung in there so that he could get that until he got that tag and got Dawkins in there, and Dawkins did his thing. Now, Zelina gets on the ropes, right? Zelina gets on the ropes and, you know, tries to be distracting. I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. Andrade gets knocked into Zelina. She falls off the ropes. He's checking on her to see if Andrade is checking on Zelina to see if she's okay. Meanwhile, because Andrade is checking on Zelina, there's nobody in the corner, and Angel Garza is trying to get a tag. Meanwhile, Montez is able to get the upper hand on Angel Garza. Montez was able to get the win. Andrade tried to get back in, but Dawkins was able to, you know, block Andrade from getting back in the ring. Now, in my opinion, at the end, you know, Angel Garza was mad at Andrade, but don't be mad at Andrade. It was Zelina's fault, because if she wouldn't have got her happy tail up there, y'all could have had a chance at winning the match, because they were actually doing very good. And then another disappointment, no, I'm going to say it again, no appearance by Bianca Belair. And this looks like this is going to be the breakdown of Zelina's stable. They are not vibing right now. They're not doing their thing. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville match. So I want to mention next, rather. So I thought that Sonya Deville did an amazing job with her promo on her last promo, getting ready, you know, for the build up into their match. You know what I'm saying? It was very good. I enjoyed it. You know, it was heavy hitting. I believed her. I thought she was going to come dead and lay it down on Mandy Rose. She was gone. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was going to get that. And so I was excited. I wasn't excited for this match because, honestly, I personally feel like Mandy Rose gets booked like this, you know, pretty princess or whatever. Just like, you know, the complaint with Sonya Deville. She's pretty and that's why she gets, you know, her attention and whatnot. But, like, seriously or honestly, if they put more time into building Mandy Rose's ring skills and everything, she could be a contender. She's strong. That's the thing they don't give Mandy Rose credit for. She's very strong, you know, and she's also like, if they booked her right, she could be a serious competitor in the women's division, but they don't. So this is what we get. So basically, you know, we already know Sonya Deville has cut Mandy Rose's hair, and then she also changes the stipulations that it's not about, you know, going bald anymore. Nobody's going to be bald. I was hoping it was both, you know, they'd be bald and, you know, but you can't always get what you want. But either way, it was good. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, first of all, I love the way they're booking her. She looks good. I love her. Like, her outfits are great. Her music, her intro is great. Her persona is awesome. She's getting her mic skills are improving. She's doing really good. Now, Mandy Rose comes out there. She has this slick back hairstyle. She's like, she's going to do business. And it was slightly confusing to me a little bit because, she was, the last time we heard her talk, she was saying, that I'm giving another chance for my friend and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know. I mean, I guess she would be mad. You know what I'm saying? That, Sonya Deville wants her fired and her career ended or whatever. But, she was coming out like last we heard, Mandy Rose wants this nice, little exchange between them and, and them to make up. But then, whatever. So it was just kind of weird to see her, coming out all mad, hair slicked back or whatever. What do I think about the hair being slicked back? I don't have many thoughts about it. It is what it is. Like, it's okay. I guess they were trying to make her look edgy. But I'm like, y'all gave her a soccer mom hairstyle. It was cute. I like the hairstyle. I like the bob. The bob was cute. Like, it is what it is. Like, I guess they were just trying to make her look edgy. But it was just like, whatever, So, Mandy Rose came out. She was mad. She started, going ham, beating down Sonya Deville. And, we saw, like an anger from her that we had never seen before. And I just want to see them, like I said, work on Mandy Rose's in-ring skills some more. Capitalize on the fact that she is strong. She's very strong. The chick is built. Like, look at her quads. Look at her legs, y'all. Her arms are even huge. Her back, everything. She is huge. And she is very strong. Might not be as strong as Bianca Belair, but she's strong. Now, she did very good. I was laughing, though, because she tried to set up a table, and girl was tripping. I was like, really? She getting a table? Okay. Girl was tripping. At that moment that she was struggling with the table, Sonya Deville was able to get the upper hand on her, and she went hard. She went hard for her, beating her down, got that chair to the gut. It was vicious. Sonya Deville was coming for Mandy Rose, and but it was a good exchange between the both of them. I kind of thought, though, that Sonya Deville was going to come with a little more heat than that. Like, I almost feel like all of her aggression on Mandy was taken out during the fight that caused where she actually cut off Mandy Rose's hair. And now, like, we really ain't seeing that much aggression from Sonya Deville, in my opinion. I mean, I know she had the chair shots or whatever and the fights or whatever, but the match was just a little sluggish, a little slow. And I think it has partially to do with Mandy Rose's skills, not so much Sonya Deville's. Because I thought Sonya Deville has been looking very good in the ring recently, and she did a great job, but it was just a little bit clunky for me. I don't know if it's because of what's going on, what happened to her recently. She might have been a little distracted or whatever. But I just thought it would be more aggression on her side. We saw more of a beatdown from Mandy Rose, which we should have seen earlier in the game. In my opinion, the exchange between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, if they was getting Mandy Rose ready to actually wrestle instead of prance around like a cute little something, whatever. Not that she can't be cute, it's cute. But Mandy Rose, I wanted to see them fight each other, like take each other down. Like the build up to SummerSlam should have been both of them beating each other down. Like, we don't know who's gonna win the match between Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, because I know I'm talking a lot about this match, but the build up, could have been both of them getting dominated, but mostly it was just Mandy getting dominated. Like, they try to book this girl right, book Mandy right, and make Sonya Deville look strong, like really, really strong. Because if you beat Mandy, like, do you really look strong beating Mandy right now? Like, come on, not really. So, but, other than that, I thought Sonya Deville did a good job, don't get me wrong, but it just, if they would have booked this right, and had, brought Mandy up to another level a little bit, it would have been better. But I digress. At the end of the day, Mandy Rose did win, which I kind of thought that Sonya Deville was going to win, but I guess she needs a minute. And I think what's gonna happen is like either Mandy is gonna be like, oh, I don't want you to get fired. I'm sorry you had to go through this, blah, blah, blah. And we'll see Sonya Deville back. But, like, please don't continue this feud between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Let them move on. And let's just be on to the next one at this point. Because this has been long and drawn out. And it was an okay ending to this feud, if it's an ending. They might try to continue it, so it is what it is. Next match, Dominic and Seth Rollins. Was anybody like me curious of what Dominic was actually going to be wearing during? I wanted to know what the gear was going to be for Dominic, right? So, his, mom is out there. He tells his dad, look, Dad, don't come out there. I need to, or don't intervene. I need to do this myself. This is for us. Blah, 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 blah. He comes out. I liked Dominic's intro. It was, reminiscent of, an ode to Rey Mysterio's. Very nice. It was good. I liked the music. It was good. It wasn't flat and boring. It was a great entrance. Very good. His gear was good. The only thing about the gear that was annoying was that daggone hood. Like, I felt like it was, getting in his way, honestly, more than anything. But I digress. So, Seth Rollins comes out there. Of course, he's accompanied by Murphy. Now, please, like, for real, has Murphy ever been banned from the ring when he's out there with Seth Rollins? I don't think so. So why even ban the Hurt Business from coming? I'm going back. I know I'm going back. But why even ban the Hurt Business from coming to the ring with MVP? If everybody else going to get to have their people, let MVP have his people. Let Apollo Crews have his people. Okay, back to the point. Back to the match. So, sorry. I was a little nervous because this was Dominic's first match, really. He's really just been getting his butt beat this whole time by Seth Rollins. I mean, he's had a couple of upper hands, but between him and Rey Mysterio, they both been being beat down. And is Dominic really ready for this match after, that kendo stick beat down that he took? I know that he got his little revenge, him and Rey Mysterio, but good grief, like, man, like, I would need a month off after that, but that's just me. Now, he was pretty strong. He still was getting beat, but he had good ring skills. I was a little nervous about him on the ropes. He looked a little tentative on the ropes a little bit, but it was still quality stuff. He did a great job. He did get the upper hand on Seth Rollins a few times, and, that was good. But at the end of the day, Seth was going to be Seth. Now, in the middle of the match, Seth is dominating and he's taunting Rey Mysterio, trying to get him to come out there. But in the middle of that, Dominic is saying to Rey, don't come in. It's okay. Don't come in. And, eventually, though, it gets bad. You know what I'm saying? And I was confused because this was a no disqualification match. I was actually shocked that Murphy didn't intervene sooner. Because it's no disqualification. You can intervene if you want to. You can come in the ring. Your people can come in the ring if they want to. But for the most part, Murphy stayed to the side until, towards the end of the match, when he started intervening with Rey Mysterio and, Seth Rollins or Buddy Murphy, one of them, I can't remember which one, tries to make it look like they're going to take Dominic's eye out. And all of a sudden, we get Mama coming out there. Mama comes out there. I couldn't believe it. Mama comes out there and she comes out and she just stands at the top of the this entrance and whatnot. And, she just stands up there looking, hoping to see her, son, make it and be okay. And Seth Rollins acts like he's going to come and, talk or do something to moms. And it's like, so Ray gets mad and he stops him, and that doesn't happen. Well, eventually, unfortunately, Ray gets overtaken by, between Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins. He gets overtaken. Dominic does a couple of frog splashes. I don't know if that's gonna be his, finisher move or whatever. But his frog smashes were okay. But when you see Montez Ford do a frog splash, and you see anybody else, for that matter, do a frog splash, no one else should be doing a frog splash but Montez. The height that he gets on it. But I digress. They were decent. They tried to act like it was clean. The commentator tried to act like it was a clean frog. No, it was not. It was not the best. It was decent, but it was not the best. But he did pretty good. At the end of the day, Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins brings out, sorry, trying to get this powder off of me. Seth Rollins brings out a pair of handcuffs. Okay? The kendo sticks did get brought out, by the way, before I get to the handcuffs. Kendo sticks did get brought out. Okay? And honey, first, Dominic was bringing them kendo sticks to, Seth Rollins. And he was getting beat down. And his chest and back was looking toe up, okay? And, that was good. But then Seth Rollins takes the vest off of Dominic. And he starts bringing kendo sticks to the boy, okay? And I felt bad for him because I'm like, are you even healed from the last time? We know the way his gear was working, that was protecting against too much of a kendo stick beat down. But man, he started hitting him again. He was slamming on him. But at the end of the day, it was what it was. Now, some handcuffs got brought out. And after the handcuffs was brought out, they were intended for Dominic. But Rey Mysterio ends up getting, thrashed. Not thrashed. Rey Mysterio ends up with the getting tied up to the ropes and just witnessing his son get curb stomped, and Dominic lost. Now, Dominic put up a valiant effort, but we all knew he was not going to win against Seth Rollins. We just knew this. Unfortunately, he did not win. It was a good match, but at the end of the day, we knew that Dominic wasn't winning. But it was a great way for him to debut, and he did, in my opinion, a great job. And Seth just looked like a freaking monster. Horrible. He was evil, okay? Now, I might be slightly evil. I hope not. But I was kind of hoping. I hope that wasn't loud. That was loud, wasn't it? I was kind of hoping that Seth Rollins did something to moms. And that's just me feeling like it should have went that way. So I felt like, yeah, definitely, Seth Rollins should have got Mama involved. Because if the Mysterios, that's going to be the last name. If the Mysterios are just going to be the beat down, are they just going to be beat down central? Why? They can never get the upper hand. They can never just get, they just get beat down. It's just, at this point, it's just sad. Is that what they're going to be known for? Is that what Dominic is going to be known for? I don't want to see him getting beat down all the time. I want to see him get some wins. And yes, they've gotten the upper hand a couple of times, but it's not been to the level that your boy has, conquered with the beat downs. It just hasn't. So I don't know with that, but It was a good match. They did a pretty good job. Now, on to Sasha Banks' match with Asuka. Now, in Asuka's match with Bayley, she did get an injury to her left knee. It was either her left knee or right knee. Only two to choose from. Now, she did get a bit of an injury, but she had what they said an hour break or whatever. So her turn was up. And so again, we got Bayley accompanying Sasha Banks to the ring. And again, going back to, why did the Hurt Business have to be in the back? We only literally saw them all of 20 seconds, and then they were sent back to sit in catering, in the words of MVP. Now, we have, so the match starts or whatever, and Bayley is on the side. I'm thinking, like, reveling in the fact that she's won her match. And I don't really think she wants, secretly, she wants Sasha to be 2 belts Banks. She really doesn't. She wants to have the gold herself. Okay? So the match is going, actually, you know, Sasha starts off going straight for that knee, you know, trying to dominate, use that as her way to win this match so that she does not lose her title and she retains. And, you know, then Asuka starts getting the upper hand, you know, and she gets a couple licks in or whatever, and Sasha rolls out of the ring, and she acts like she's not going to get back in. You know, she's going to need a minute or whatever. And I'm like, oh no, you're not. Like, I'm like, are you really about to win this match by a count out? Like, that was about to be stupid. But, you know, my husband has this theory. He has this theory that Sasha Banks is cursed. Okay? And I believe him. I believe him. Sasha Banks has never, let's put an emphasis on never fought and retained her title. She's never, come on, ever. Yes, she can win a title, but can she keep it? She's never retained. Okay? So, but I'm thinking because she got Bayley in her corner, maybe she will retain. Because this is the tomfoolery and the shenanigans that we get on a consistent basis with them, right? No. What really happens? It actually shocks the mess out of me. Okay? They're fighting. Same similar scenario, okay, happens that in Banks's match that happens with Bayley's match, okay? All of a sudden, Bayley is on the ropes, trying to interfere and whatnot, right? But this time, when Asuka hits that booty pump move, it's booty pump to me, you know, it's rear view for Naomi, whatever. She hits that booty pump move, Bayley jumps off. And here's the thing. If Bayley really wanted to help Sasha Banks retain her title, all she had to do was intervene in the match, break up the count or one good time, and that would have ended the match, and it would have been a DQ, but no titles would have been exchanged, right? Because you have to have a submission, or you have to have, you know, a count, whatever. So all she really had to do was do that. But she didn't. She moves out of the way. Because she moves out of the way, Asuka, Lord have mercy, Asuka was able to get her bearings and get Sasha in the Asuka lock. She gets Sasha in the Asuka lock. And Sasha tapped so fast, I was in shock. Legit shock. over. Now, I personally was shocked. I didn't believe that Sasha had tapped for a second. The way, the angle that that they were showing, like, I honestly did not believe that Sasha had actually tapped. Like, she tapped. So when they showed the replay, we saw it, she tapped. And, Bailey gets in the ring with Sasha, and she's like, oh, it happened so fast, and blah, 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 blah. So we know that this is the beginning of the rift that's taking place. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful rift. Sasha does not retain, and the curse still exists. Now we're moving on. Okay. So as I said before, you just knew between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton that this match was going to be fire, okay? Just wrestling, okay? So, Randy Orton comes in, he's just Randy Orton, right? And he's showboating, he's ready for this match, okay? Then Drew McIntyre enters, and he looks like a man on a mission. He's focused. I love Drew McIntyre's theme music. He's like legit just ready to throw down, okay? And what I knew from this is that this match was not just going to be an easy win, for Randy Orton if he were to win. I didn't know if he was going to win. I just knew I'm not ready for Drew McIntyre not to be the champion. Like, I want him to have the whole experience. He already had to, go through WrestleMania not being what it normally is, even though they tried their best, I guess. He didn't get the full experience, right? So, I'm just not ready for him not to be champion yet, right? So the match starts, and Randy Orton's playing his head games, right? He's bouncing in and out the ring. He's not trying to take any hits. He's being him, right? Which was cool. It was cool. Oh, I did my lashes and stuff off camera. Whatever. So, this was cool, right? And I was like, oh, yes, usual head games. Randy Orton being who he is, doing what he does best. It was great. So, then he gets in the ring, and he, gets a little best of Drew McIntyre for a second. And Drew jumps out the ring, and he takes him a rake. And he almost let it be a count out. I was like, oh, snap, he about to let this be a count out. But he didn't. He just stood there for a second, collected himself. And then he was like, okay. All right, I got you. I see where you're coming from. We're going to handle this, okay? And he handled it. He got back in that ring. He was dominating. It was back and forth, and it was good. And that's one of the things about Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton is an amazing wrestler, and he, he's one of my favorite. He's like my favorite heel in WWE at the moment. Like, my favorite heel. But unless The Fiend is a heel, but I don't really consider him a heel. He's like a heel, but not. He's a genre all in, to himself. So, like, The Fiend is one of my favorites, too. But Randy Orton, he's used to dominating in a match, and I don't think he can handle a long time being beat down. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to get bested if somebody is strong enough and has endurance. It's the endurance, okay? So, Jesus, please help me. Y'all petition for my husband to make appearance on these wrestling videos, okay? Put a petition. Maybe if he feels encouraged by you guys, then he'll want to come and talk about wrestling with me. Just saying. So, Drew McIntyre gets in there. He puts him in this beautiful figure 4 lock, okay? Now, one of the things that was getting on my nerves was the commentators. Like, I'm not stupid. Don't try to make me think something is something and it's not. Okay? So, Drew McIntyre was bleeding from his forehead. It was a natural bleed. I don't think it was, it just happened. Okay? So Drew McIntyre is bleeding from his forehead, and he was in this awesome figure four lock, and Randy Orton is hurting, and he can't get out of it because Drew is so freaking strong that he just can't get out of it. Okay, so then when he couldn't get out of it, you know, Randy Orton resorts to his little cheeky ways, and he pulls the ref, who's, you know, close, you know, trying to make sure he's not tapping or anything. He pulls the ref, and then it's like, you know, pulls him close, and the ref's like, why are you pulling my shirt? And he's bent over, the ref is bent over, you know, and then while the ref is bent over, Randy Orton gets Drew McIntyre's thumbs him in the eye, right? And so after Drew McIntyre gets up, the commentators are like, yeah, Drew McIntyre is recovering from the eye injury from Randy Orton. No, he's not. We clearly saw blood on his face before the figure four even started, and before he was even thumbed. So please stop with the tomfoolery. We don't believe it. Okay. So then the match continues, and Randy Orton has Drew McIntyre on the ropes, and, you know, I think it was like a DDT that he did off the ropes on Drew McIntyre, right? And, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. But then the commentators come back with it again, and they're like, yeah, you know, the blood from Drew McIntyre's forehead is on Randy Orton. No, it was not. Randy Orton was also bleeding from his forehead, and we saw this because the blood was literally, when they did a close-up after the commentator said what they said, then you saw the blood coming out of his forehead, like being produced out of his forehead. We saw this. Like, we're not stupid. Commentators, commentate correctly. That's all I'm asking. Like, can you just commentate correctly? You know, you do your thing, have your personality, but please commentate correctly, okay? So, but that's all right. It is what it is, you know. It just is what it is, right? So, they're giving the beatdowns of their lives. Randy Orton tries multiple times to RKO Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre is ready. He is prepared. Even when Randy Orton is trying to say, like, he won't see it coming, he saw it coming every time and was able to reverse it, flip it and reverse it. Drew McIntyre was on the ropes. That's one of the things I love about Drew McIntyre. His 6'5" self, over 200, I feel like he's 265 pounds or something like that. I think that's what they said. Tall as crap, you know, huge man, mammoth of a man, is on the top rope somewhere, jumping off top ropes and stuff. I love that. It's cool to me. So it was really, really good. But I'm telling you, there was no RKO accomplished. There was no Claymore accomplished. And guess how the match ends? Okay? Just guess. If you're a WWE fan, you know how it ended. The surprise roll-up, okay? It was a surprise roll-up, y'all. And when I tell you it is the most overused move in WWE history, in my opinion, it is that surprise roll-up. Drew McIntyre hit Randy Orton with a surprise roll-up and won the match and retained his title. Really? So, here's my thoughts. Didn't have a problem with it being a surprise roll-up, surprisingly, right? What I had a problem with is that there was no Claymore, no RKO. I would have liked to seen Randy Orton hit Drew McIntyre with an RKO and Drew McIntyre kick out. I would have liked to seen Drew McIntyre hit Randy Orton with a Claymore and Randy Orton kick out or whatever. I mean, hasn't Brock Lesnar even kicked out of a Claymore, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. But he had to do multiple ones on Brock Lesnar in order to, Drew McIntyre did, in order to win. But, like, we couldn't get that. Like, I feel like we could have seen that, and then I would have been fine with a surprise roll-up, and I would have got my fix on their finisher moves. But when they say SummerSlam, you won't see it coming, like, I seriously did not see it coming. I did not see it coming that we would get no RKO and no Claymore. So is there going to be a rematch before Payback next week? I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll see a Claymore then, or a RKO then. I don't know. Somebody tell me, okay? It was a great match though. It was a great match, just like I thought. It was actually a great match. I just was shocked by the tomfoolery. It's tomfoolery, y'all. But it's good tomfoolery in this case, and in this case only. So next, the match we were all waiting for. At least I was waiting for, because I was waiting for the Fiend. Honestly, that's it. I was waiting for the Fiend, so the Fiend shows up. Now, I keep saying in my opinion, but for real, I wanted to see the Fiend enter last. I thought it was so weird having the Fiend enter first and then Braun Strowman enter. You know? It was just weird because, like, I personally like the mood that the Fiend sets for a match. You know, like right after his music is done, and then your fight. You know what I'm saying? The fight is good then. It's like really, really good. So Braun Strowman enters and throws off my whole vibe with his, situation. Braun Strowman is good, and he was strong. He looked very strong last night. I personally feel that I know that, the theme is, with the Fiend, people change when they're in a match with him or whatever. But did the Miz really change? Not really. Did Daniel Bryan really change? I mean, he got his yeses back, but other than that, it was minimal, right? They should have been booking Braun Strowman strong like this the whole entire time, okay? If they would have done this, it just seems like a weird time for him to be trying to act like this monster. Like, I feel like he's trying to act like the Fiend's illegitimate child, and it's not working for me. It's just not. I like the aggression, but his character, he needs more help in mic skills and harnessing who his character is. Like, it's not working for me, Braun. We need a little more work. I'm a fan, and I feel like he could be great, but he just cringy at the moment, okay? But I digress. Now, the match itself was very good. Braun Strowman came in hot. I mean, he was giving the Fiend all he had. They were beating each other down. One of my favorite parts, though, was when the Fiend just threw the toolbox at Braun Strowman. Like, just threw it. And then the other part that was really good was when Braun Strowman ran through the Fiend and they busted that barricade down. I was like, oh my God. It was so good. It was pretty good. So the match in itself was very good. They were just dominating each other, devouring each other, tearing each other down, just giving us what we wanted to see. Okay. So, but the Fiend doesn't feel pain. No, let me stop. He looked like he was going through it. Okay. The Fiend looked like he wasn't going to make it for a second. But the Fiend is the Fiend, okay? And he Sister Abigail'd Braun Strowman a few times, and he did his thing, and he got that win. The Fiend is now the Universal Champion, okay? Great. Now, mind you, my vibe through the whole show, first I was pissed with the whole Bayley and Asuka match, because I said, if we're going to see what we see on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown all of the time, what is the point? Okay, what is the point? If I don't want to pay for a subscription for pay-per-view to see what I see all of the time. But they pretty much came with the heat tonight. Now, or last night. Now, all of a sudden we see the Fiend look over, okay? And boom! Oh, that was loud. I know it was loud. Boom! Boom! Out of nowhere. The Fiend gets hit from with a spear. He gets hit with a spear. I'm telling you, he got hit with a spear. Who was it? Who was this man in black? Was it Retribution? Heck no, it wasn't no darn Retribution. Retribution was scared to get in the ring when it was Braun Strowman and The Fiend. You notice on Friday Night SmackDown that when Braun Strowman and The Fiend was in the ring, Retribution standing all outside, but they didn't get back in that ring until The Fiend got out. Okay, back to it. The Fiend gets hit with a spear, and it is the one and only, the big dog, Roman Reigns. Come through. Okay. I gotta calm down because when I tell you I was so excited, I am a Roman Reigns fan. I know that he has some people out there that do not care for him, but I am not one of them. I stand for Roman Reigns all day, every day, and I love it. And let me tell you, Roman Reigns came out there the epitome of what you should have been doing during quarantine, okay? He was ripped, okay? He was ripped. He had no vest on. He had his t-shirt on, okay? Literally says, wreck everyone and leave. Drops the mic. Wreck everyone and leave, okay? Y'all know this was my favorite part. This did it for me. I don't care what nobody got to say. It did it for me. Yes, he beat down the Fiend. He speared him a couple times, okay? Then he went over to Braun Strowman, speared him, beat him down. First of all, he speared the Fiend and was like, bah, 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 wailing on him, okay? Wailing on him, right? Then he gets up, goes over to Braun Strowman. What? Just breaking him down. He was like, you ain't no monster. I made you. He was like, you ain't a monster unless I'm here. This is my house. I was like, come through, tell us with the new white teeth, okay? Tell us with the tan, tell us with the rip. You done been doing your thing, okay? Whatever they thought. Roman Reigns said, I'm the guy. I'm the man. And I run this. I don't cuss. I try not to cuss, so I can't say the thing. But when I tell you that it hit for me. And that was the end of SummerSlam 2020. You didn't see it coming. I didn't see that coming. It was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal return for Roman Reigns, okay? The Fiend looked strong. Braun Strowman looked strong. But Roman Reigns looked like he won. And I don't care. I know he beat up on some people that had already had a match. But when I tell you the heat and the fire that he came with the fire. Did you see the Fiend get back up, though? He didn't get back up. I can't wait to see a match between the Fiend and Roman Reigns. But I don't know what that means for Braun Strowman. That's the only part about it. You don't know what it means for what direction they're going to take it. Is it going to be a triple threat situation? If they do that, that would be awesome to me. I would love to see a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, The Fiend, and Braun Strowman. That would be really good. Continue to build Braun Strowman. Continue to have him work on his stuff. I have faith in him. I love, his abilities and his wrestling skills. I just want to see it worked on more, and all you can do is just keep on working on your mic skills and it'll be good. It worked for me. SummerSlam overall SummerSlam gets a yes and amen for me. It's a shocker. But SummerSlam gets a yes and amen for me. Okay, leave your thoughts down in the comments. I want to do videos like this more. I want to talk about all of wrestling at this point because I'm super, super excited about it and what is out there now and what's being produced. So I want to do videos where I do my makeup, talk about wrestling. If you like that idea, leave it down in the comments. Let me know. Like this video, please subscribe to my channel and you will see more. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.